What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Amka Podcast. And today, um, I'm kind of like trying to bring you the best content that I can. That I could. And I was. This is kind of reaction, and this guy inspired me so much. Actually, I was watching this channel for like some. Uh, I mean, for few times, and this content really got me so bad. Actually, this guy he shocked me because what he was sharing is true. The guy met Jesus. The guy met God in heaven. He spent about 2 to 3 minutes in heaven, and at the beginning, I was like, maybe this guy is on drugs, because I was laughing. I was watching the content and like the video, and I'm laughing at him, and I say like, this guy is on drugs, you know. And the end of the day, when I kept watching and I saw like the guy was crying. I mean, like he became more emotional, and that's made me realize he's telling the true story for what happened to him, and it's unbelievable, bro. Your life can change in a minute, and that's why I've just decided like we can watch this together, and you can tell me what do you think in a comment below, because at the beginning you're gonna think maybe he's joking, and but he's not joking. It's the truth. He's telling the truth. So watch till the end, and you're gonna understand the beautiful story of this guy, how he met God in heaven. It's crazy, man. Yeah, really crazy. Uh, I couldn't believe it.
They're giving me alcohol, and I'm seeing the devil. He's coming close to me. And he reminds me, and he says to me, I've stolen you,
Um,
I've killed
Maybe you
you,
start
now
at the
I'm about to
beginning.
destroy you. And he says to me, I've stolen you, I've killed you, now I'm about to destroy you. My name is Muhammad Obe. I'm originally from Limpopo, but my mother got married in Mpumalanga. So if I had to describe myself as a very humble individual, and I grew up as a very reputable person. But sometimes I tend to be very serious towards other certain aspects of my life because you know what to do. And that it just so happens that I annihilate my own reputation in the process. So whatever it is that I'm about to tell you is going to sound unbelievably untrue because I've told quite a few people and it seemed like, well, some of them believed it, some.
To be honest, man, like when he was sharing his story, I never believe him, and I don't know what just told me to keep watching, and then at the end, I was also about to cry. Just like as you can see right now, he's kind of like trying to tell his story, and you and I we say that it's a wrong story, but I guarantee you, if you keep watching him, you will hear the full story. And I mean, it's unbelievable, bro. Like, just keep watching, man. Keep watching.
Of them did not believe it. And most of the time when I tell my story, it's like I'm telling a movie, some sort of a movie. So with the risk of eradicating my reputation, I'm willing to do it for Jesus this time. I grew up in Bella Bella, in boarding school. I went to boarding school my entire life, and everyone I know is from boarding school. And on that note, my whole life was based around everything else that happens in boarding school. So when I got to boarding school, My mother used to tell me a scripture in the Bible where it says the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But like when you're young, you don't really take that seriously. So my story is based on my near-death experience and everything else that came after it. In high school, I was the one guy that never drank, never partied, never smoked. Well, even now I don't smoke, but I was that guy. I played rugby. I was very good. Academics, I was a first student. I was a virgin till I was like 19. So some of the things that people I went to school with, I wasn't taking part in. I just focused on rugby and school, and that was it. And then I met Jesus when I was in grade 8. And from there I just became the guy who loved God at school, the guy who loved rugby. I passed my matric. I enrolled to go study film and television. And that's where everything started. I stayed in Braamfontein at a race called South Point.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use any.
So I stayed there. Obviously, the rules are there.
For those who don't know, Braamfontein is like in South Africa. Johannesburg is more of the CBD area of Johannesburg. So the guys from Limpopo. It's Limpopo is a province, South African province close to Zimbabwe. And then from Limpopo, you go easily to Johannesburg. It's not really far. So the guy is from that side, and then he went to Hassel in Joburg, as you can see.
That you don't know parties, no sleepovers, no visitors after 11. I don't know if they still do that now. But second year I started, imbibing in alcohol. And back then my mother wasn't as financially stable as she is right now. Now she's doing very well. So she would send me like $600 a month. That includes food and fun. So, I would drink like $50 from it because, I wasn't really a heavy drinker at that time. I can't say the wrong people because we only met because of the language that we spoke. We spoke the same language. When you come to Joburg, there's a lot of languages. I can only speak 3 languages fluently: Xitsonga, Afrikaans, and Isipedi. So everyone in that circle of the language that I spoke, I befriended, became my friend at that time. So we were a group of, I think 6, if I can remember, and we all spoke Sepedi. Some went to Vert, some went to UJ. I went to City Varsity to go study college, but we stayed at a race. But then this time it wasn't one of those races that many strict rules. So you were allowed to have sleepovers. I think it was 7 days. Everybody threw parties at that time. And the year was 2014, where even in the hip hop community, people like Casper were still coming up. And so South Point would host these events where they would bring all these celebrities. My life changed. At that time, it was a time where, celebrities like the hip hop community was still like up and coming, and celebrities like Casper was still, trying to get into the industry and be that good. The whole South Point community would all party. So now, some of the guys I used to hang out with had money. Remember, I'm the guy that, whose parents are sending like $600, and the one is, 2,000, and then the other one is getting 1,000 something. But there was just one guy who had like a lot of money amongst us. I eventually got a job through South Point because, I remember, like I said, I studied film and television. So as a replacement, I decided to do photography. Film and photography is just like very, very close. If you know about film, I don't think photography can be that hard. So I became a South Point photographer. So I was very close. So if there was a celebrity performing, I became very close, to the action. I don't know where the other guy got the money, but he was like making it very, 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 very well. So it got to a point where I became financially independent because I was getting paid every week. So I would, like I said, I stayed at a place where sleepovers were allowed. So occasionally I would like take the girl to my apartment and for the night and we'd do our thing. And at that level it was like, how can I put it? It was not as hectic. I thought, amongst us boys, whenever you come down the lift with a very beautiful girl, you get all these high fives, So I wanted to save money so I can go live in Pretoria. It was a lot easier living in Pretoria than Joburg. I didn't want to live the same life without those guys, in Joburg. And so, yeah, the inevitable happened. Exactly what I imagined would happen did happen, even like let me say 10 times that. So we were shooting, and I think 2018 August, every Thursday I was on TV. Up past 8, I can't remember, or up past 7, something like that. So I would tell people, guys, they shoot like 3 months prior or 2 months prior to airing of the episode. So I would post, guys, like, check me out, I'm gonna be on TV very soon. And I did. And everybody saw it. Everyone I showed. And because I'm a photographer, my client base went from, how can I put it, making 15,000 a month to 15,000 a weekend because of just that small gig that I did, that I got on television. Man, I was like, okay, 2019, I'm moving to Pretoria. I have the money, I've saved up enough. I have furniture, I have everything, When I moved to Pretoria, I stayed in Hatfield. Hatfield is quite expensive. It's like New York. People don't sleep over there. And even restaurants don't even close. I mean, I was staying below KFC. Next to me, if I can remember, it was like Burger King. I would wake up at like 2 a.m. and all these restaurants would still be open. So it was like that. The lifestyle was like 3 times better than Braamfontein. And this time I had money.
If you are watching this, I'm guaranteeing you, like, just go slowly with the story and you're gonna get there. It's so emotional. Like, this guy is just trying to tell you like the way he come from and how he used to deal with stuff before the things that happened to him happened. So that's why he's just bringing up a little bit of his background, a little bit of his story, his childhood, and how he was playing rugby. If you know South Africa very well, South Africa is where like the rugby culture is very strong. I mean, they even smashing people in the World Cup right now. Yesterday they beat Romania, something like that. So he's just trying to tell you like how he got to this point, and most people don't believe him because they think that he made up a story. He won't say like you're gonna get there where he went to church. He's telling people the story. People think that he was on drugs. I used to think the same when I was watching the video, but if you can look at this guy emotions, I mean, like the body language at the end, if you stick to this video, you will notice like he was really he made someone in heaven, and the story that he's telling is true, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. Let's just watch and see.
Well, I thought I had money. In between I still remember my mother's words when she said to me, when I was in primary, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I would ignore that because of, I couldn't dissociate myself with the lifestyle. It was very hard, and it's very addictive. And to be honest, at some point in my life, as a photographer, I was making over 45K because now I started doing corporate gigs. Transnet was on my list. Zenex, Frontline Africa, Ditsong. Ditsong owns most museums in Pretoria. So I was the guy who was taking all those pictures, and I was sending like 3 quotations a week, and when they come back, it's like easy 25,000. My rent is 5.5. My daughter wasn't that expensive because like I said, I stayed in Tembisa, met a girl, we made a baby. I love my daughter, by the way.
Amazing.
Well, I met a guy who wanted me to take pictures of his construction company, so he would send me to to on site. He would give me a buggy, give me his black card, and say, dude, go to Mpumalanga, here's the address, go there, take pictures, come back to my office, can you sit here and edit, have a time of your life, swipe whatever food you want to swipe. Hey, that was cool, that was nice. And I looked at the guy smells good, his skin is flawless, he's driving a BMW, and he doesn't only have a BMW, he had like 7 cars. So this one time, we were going to Midupi power station, to go shoot there. He gave me this uniform, and I felt good underneath the uniform, reflector, and I'm wearing all this safety, whatever. And I was like, I imagined myself. So we got there, we booked. I don't know, out of nowhere, girls were involved. I don't know where he got the girls. And it was nice. I was like, I want to adopt to this lifestyle. The photography has money, but like, it can wait. I want that. So I hung around him long enough for myself to start my own construction company. Believe it or not, I worked with Stefanik and Stocks. We built apartments. On my record, I built 2 double-story houses. I easily made 73,000 in 2 weeks. And that's after like paying the people that worked for me at that time. Now I'm hiring people, and I'm having a time of my life.
Check this out. A quick and easy way to make tons of pro-looking videos all by yourself? Look no further than Create Studio Pro.
With Create Studio Pro, you can create amazing 3D character explainers just like Pix. You never need to use complex 3D software, lose your rigging,
and then I don't know.
Sorry about the ads.
Every time I say this story, it's like, I don't know. So fire. There was a time where I went to a friend of mine's party. It's a girl, so I get there. But I'm used to partying, and I get to a party. Every time I get to a party, I'm the guy, But this time, everything was like weird. Nobody wanted to hang out with me. No girl wanted to talk to me. They would strike up a very, tiny conversation.
This is where everything start to unfold. People never wanted to hang out with him. Apparently, there was a demonic sort of kind of those kind of thing that was pushing people away from him. Some people have gods in their lives. Some people have Jesus. Some people have their beliefs and all those things. So when you see actually things are starting to change from your side, that means there is something that you need to question yourself, because people have instinct, and they have feelings, and they have guts. If you see that in your life something start to change, means there is something that's happening. It might be happening in a good way, it might be happening in a bad way. I mean, but the fact that people are start to realize that there is something wrong with this guy means something is really wrong, and this is where it's getting interesting. So keep watching and you will see how he I mean, how he made the devil first, and then the second time he met God. So just keep watching, you will see.
Conversation, like small talk type of a conversation. It was like I was forcing myself, to be the guy of the party. And so they had run out of alcohol, and it was like very late. So I couldn't risk going out and buying alcohol because I could afford it. But so the replacement for it was weed. I mean, I don't smoke even now. Till today, I don't smoke. And fine, I'm like, fine. There's no alcohol. Let
Yo,
me take a
man,
joint.
I'm like I
When you
said
smoke,
before, when I was watching this, I actually laughed a lot, so much. Like I was calling my girlfriend anytime, come watch this, and I'm like, this guy was on drugs or what? Like, but bro, I'm actually laughing right now because this is kind of funny. There was no alcohol. Alcohol finished at the party, and then the only things that they could eat or drink or smoke was only weed. And so the guy was lonely, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, this guy actually is telling the full story. He never met Jesus or God, he was just high. But that's not the case, man. I mean, stuck here, you're gonna see it's really interesting, and that's really not the case. I was just laughing because this is how it started, but this is not it's going to end. So that's the
smoke weed for the
beautiful
first
news
time, the
of this
best thing
story.
you want to do is feel what it's like to be high. And you're gonna go all out for it. People are taking 2 puffs, you're taking more than 5 puffs, and they look at you and they laugh. And funny enough, I've never seen a weed person force anybody to do it. They just offer you a joint. If you say, "No, I'm good," they pass it on to the next person. So, and then there was like space muffins. So I smoked the weed, I become hungry, and then they're like, "No, have some space muffin." If I can describe what a space muffin is, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a smoking expert. I know a lot about alcohol rather than smoking. Uh, it's they bake cookies and they mix it with like raw weed within it, and then they bake it. When you eat it, like you like take in whatever the weed does to you. Mind you, I drank and I'm hungry, and now I'm eating these space muffins on an overdose level. People are eating like one, and then they're taking like 30-minute interval breaks, and I'm just like going all out for it. And the reason why I went all out for it was because I couldn't give a damn. Nobody wanted to hang out with me anyway, so I resorted to the space muffins. I remember
Uh,
walking.
Actually, this is like a lesson learned. Sometimes, guys, we might be seeing people trying to committing suicide and all those kind of stuff, and nobody's even going to be there for them. Especially our new generation these days. You can see someone is struggling, but you don't want to be there for him. You can see someone is trying to do something horrible, terrible, but you'd rather filming the person and get the content so you can post on your social medias and all those kind of stuff instead even of helping someone. I mean, this guy, all these things happened. Well, I know some there were some God directions. I mean, it happened for a reason, but just trying to be, um, I mean, there for other people, just trying to care for other people, not being selfish or not being careless. You know, the guy started to eat a lot and whatever just because he had nobody to talk to him. You know, it's a party, people going to socialize, but he went to die almost. I mean, like, just trying to be there for people. It's not like you're gonna be wanting them in your life, but just trying to be there at least. You know, just get along to a guy, to a girl, like, hey, how you doing, man? Like, what's going on? Those kind of thing. Why are you so solo? You know, and it's just going to make someone feel good. That, I mean, that's the concept. All these things happened to him because he was solo, bro. Damn.
Came back to my apartment. Like I said, Hatfield is like New York. Daylight and night, it's the same. Safe. You can walk from flat apartment to apartment. So I walked from my friend's apartment, and I was very dizzy. So I get to my apartment, and what I do remember was that I slept. Right, slept for the first time. Woke up, went to the toilet, and I vomited everything. Vomited everything. Fine. I went back to my room, and I remember waking up for the second time. But what's really confusing and crazy was that I was like fresh. I felt like a horse. I don't want to lie. And so it's funny because I wanted to go to the toilet again and wash my face. The more I wanted to go to the toilet, I started elevating, And it was funny because when I turned around, I could see myself. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine, why am I laying on the bed? At the same time, I'm here and my spirit is being elevated. All of a sudden everything went blank, like super blank. I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's like if I had to put you in a space that's the size of a public toilet, everything is closed down and you're in the dark. Even if you're not claustrophobic, you're definitely going to feel some kind of a way. And there was a time when I was like, there was a lot of confusion in my mind at that time, because now my friends are no longer there. Everything doesn't count. The money doesn't count. So I see a guy driving in a red convertible car, right, with girls, but he's driving in circles. So I can feel that this guy is driving in circles. He's not going anywhere. And so everything was like a loop in that place. Everything is a loop. So meaning like if like me, I'm gonna give an example with me. I was drunk and high at the same time. So I was battling to be sober, but I couldn't. Everything was just repeating itself, repeating. And in front of me appeared like small, how can I put it? Small demons. Yeah, and they would feed me all these alcohol, a lot of alcohol. They had all the alcohol in the world, but I was crying and I was like, nah, I don't want this. But it just couldn't happen. So when I looked at the horizon, and I just started seeing like a lot of people that were there.
Let's just get to that first. First of all, I really, I'm really not judging people that sacrifice their lives into alcohol, it's all right to drink. It's okay to depress. I mean, I mean, not to depress. I mean, it's okay to go out there and trying to take out your stress and feeling good. Everybody has the right to have great feelings. But over drinking, it's really very dangerous. That's why even in the road they are telling you don't drink and driving because you might be killing people. Not You're not only thinking about yourself but some other people. You know what I'm saying? This guy, he's been drunk until his soul and his body, they are on a different places. You know what I'm saying? It's like something that went to tell God, the signaling God that there's something that's happening right here, and you need to come visiting this kid. And the archangels and Michelangelo and all those people came down and they brought him to this. I mean, this is like, man, it's crazy.
happened. So when I look at the horizon and I just started seeing like a lot of people that were there, people that was suffering for their own reasons why they were there, right? So my suffering was, I was being fed all this alcohol and
Hold on,
drugs at
hold
the
on,
same
hold on,
time. I
hold
don't
on, hold
want
on,
it,
hold on.
and there was,
What did he say?
how can I put it? Small demons.
Okay.
Yeah, and they would feed me all this alcohol, a lot of alcohol. They had all the alcohol in the world, but I was crying and I was like, nah, I don't want this.
You see,
But
he said he saw small demons feeding him alcohol. Alcohol is I mean, it's kind of demonic. I don't understand why do people uh really into alcohol, but it's really really demonic. Let me try to go to my Google here and see what the research is going to tell us about alcohol. All right. Why alcohol is demonic? Why alcohol is demonized? But the body can only process 1 unit of alcohol per hour. So if you drink more than you can metabolize, dependent on size, sex, etc., you will get drunk. Most of us can recount a bad boozy experience. So it's pretty obvious how alcohol can cause us physical and mental damage. Why is drinking considered as wrong? What is the alcohol content of spirits? Does alcohol slow healing? I mean, why alcohol is demonic? I wanted to find that the word demonic. Mm, yeah, or demon drink and etc. So, I mean, just to tell you, like, alcohol is really, really bad. I've read some some story before, some article before, and really, alcohol can destroy your life. It doesn't build anything, alcohol, and that's why you see so many people that drinking alcohol, their life is fucked up. If you go to the, I mean, like some low, I mean, let's say in some low hoods, you see like people are addicted to alcohol. I don't understand why can you addicted to alcohol. You're spending a lot of money on alcohol, but you just keep on being addicted to alcohol. So if you're trying to quit alcohol, I read the what's the book? The Power of Habit. It says like a 90% of the people that quit smoking and quit alcohol, they go through God, and You cannot do those kind of things yourself because it's an addiction. And for you to beat those addiction, you need to put God first in your life. If you don't want to put God first in your life, I'm sorry, it's going to be so hard for you. It's not going to happen for you, and you're just going to waste your life on alcohol or in in any other sort of addiction. So put God first in your life, because without God, you cannot do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So stop alcohol, stop those bad habits, stop those bad um addictions, because they are killing us, man. Like, let's just pray for each other every time. This guy saw demons giving him alcohol, and after seeing demons giving him alcohol, he saw so many people there, like they were struggling with their own problems. He knew he had his own problem of alcohol, and that's what brought him there. And some other people, they had their own problem, which is he didn't know. Man, this is where things are getting interest. I mean, super hot. Just keep watching.
It just couldn't happen. So when I look at the horizon, and I just started seeing like a lot of people that were there,
So many people.
people that was suffering for their own reasons why they were there,
You.
right? So my suffering was, I was being fed all this alcohol and drugs at the same time. I don't want it, and that was like my punishment. And they were suffering from, you'd see a guy, who gossiped a lot, and he was suffering for whatever reason, but nobody really cares. Like I didn't care what that guy was suffering about, so I didn't think they cared about me either. So, and I'm confused, and I'm like, where is this place? And eventually, to be quite honest, I was like, I'm practically in hell. I just died from overdose, and I'm in hell.
Okay, guys, let's have a conversation here. Like, you are drinking a lot, you are in your dreams, right? Because dreams, they are meant to happen. Whatever you are not drunk, whatever you are in a good mood, if you just dreaming about something, means it happened. Whether it's your subconscious, it's your consciousness, your minds. If you just have a little visions of the things that's happening, means you're dreaming, right? And the thing is, what I was believing in this guy, he faced so the people that he doesn't know. It's like me, I'm dreaming about the people that I don't know, right? I'm dreaming about the people that I don't know, and I see those people are really suffering so much. And I'm wondering, why are these people suffering so much? What's wrong with these people? And when I'm questioning those kind of questions, and I see that me, myself personally, I'm also suffering from something, that means the people that are suffering, they might be maybe to the hospital where they are seeking for healing, or somewhere bad. And the fact that you just see, you can see he's witnessing that he saw a little demon, he's feeding him a lot of alcohol, because they want to attract him through alcohol. You know what I'm saying? And through alcohol, he saw so many people that they are already there, like they have been there. And he, in his subconscious mind, like, he just realized, like, maybe this is the hell. And I do believe him. You tell me if you don't believe him in a comment below, because I really do believe him, because he's telling the true story. I mean, like, you see people there, like they are struggling, and you are like, damn, where are we? And where is this place? Why are those people here? Man, it's really, 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 guys, we got to be careful. We got to pray God, like, work with God, do anything you want to do with God, bro. Don't forget about praying anytime you can. You see an occasion of praying, pray. You see some bad circumstances are happening, praying. Just be with God, because The devil is very everywhere. Like he is like he's controlling the world. And if you don't want to be close to God, you're just gonna be tempted to do something that is gonna take you to the devil. Just be close to God, please, man. This story, man, that's why I actually decided to share this with you because it's really interesting. Really.
So, and I'm confused, and I'm like, where is this place? And eventually, to be quite honest, I was like, I'm practically in hell. I just died from overdose, and I'm in hell. Like I said, it always sounds unbelievable when I explain the story.
It really does.
So
Satan plays an enormous role in religion. Find out if Satan has infiltrated your church.
there was these noises that was like irritating because now I'm trying so hard not to. You have these noises that are like irritating, and then you go from the noises, and you are constantly reminded of the lifestyle that you used to live in. And I was like, damn, my mother was right. My mother was right. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and I don't know. So for me, it was like game over at that time. The devil coming to steal, kill, and destroy. And before I knew it, there was this heavy presence. I knew I'm about to meet the devil face to face. When I saw him, it was like huge, scary. I don't know of any possible description. Like I said, every time I tell it sounds like a movie. I really don't know how to reenact this for somebody, watching this to understand, to assimilate the entire story with a lot of understanding, because it's really hard. The best thing I can do he was really scary. And the whole time in my heart, I'm screaming, Jesus,
Oh
Jesus,
yeah,
Jesus.
man. I mean, I do get this. So, I mean, it's all right. I really do get this. All right. He saw a huge thing in front of him. I mean, when God is approaching you, He's never approach you in a bad way. God can approach you in a way where you can be satisfied, happy, joyful. I mean, when God is approaching you, or the real angel from God, when they are approaching you, you're just gonna feel it. I mean, in your body, it's all about feelings. You know what I'm saying? We were born with feelings. There is a reason why we were born with fear and dopamine and the things that makes us happy. And at the moment that just like your body is releasing those chemicals of fear, means there is something. Even if you don't see that there is something wrong, who knows? If you had three eyes, maybe you could have seen the bad situation behind your back or around you. You know what I'm saying? So the guy saw the big dude, like the monster, right? And he was afraid of like to hell. And he was like he couldn't explain like what kind of like I mean, what kind of piece of thing is this? So he's trying to figure it out, like, is this the devil? Man, um I can tell because when he's telling this story, like, I'm being in his shoes myself. If you're experiencing those kind of things, even in your dreams, you will be seeing like there is something really really was happening. I mean, look at the guys crying. So it's really happened. It's really happened.
The whole time. They're giving me alcohol, and I'm seeing the devil. He's coming close to me. And he reminds me, and he says to me, I've stolen you, I've killed you, now I'm about to destroy you. The exact same word that my mother told me. Damn. And before that, I still remember there was this light that came into the place very, very fast. I don't know how to describe the speed because, I don't know, man. Spiritual things are very hard to explain. I don't know that.
Yeah, for sure.
And when the light came through, everything fell, and I could hear the noises from the back, from the back all the way to the other side, and it sounded like ba 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 ba, even the devil himself. And it was like this person when he came closer to me, I couldn't stand his presence. First of all, I knew it was Jesus because, you know, when it's Jesus and it's him for real, you don't need to be told that it's him. You know, like that's the Messiah, you know. And the closer he got to me.
In this video, which is just over 2 minutes long, I want to show you how to create this 84-page ebook simply from one topic idea. So I use a tool.
The more guilt I felt, I was ashamed of looking at him. First of all, he doesn't have a face. I didn't see his face. From here upwards, it was just bright, too bright. And then below, he was wearing a white robe. In front is white, at the back is purple. Purple represents the kingdom, you know, and white represents what the Bible describes as him shining brighter than snow. And he did shine brighter than snow.
Did you guys hear
He was
it?
clean, flawless.
Did you hear it?
When it's Jesus and it's him for real, you don't from the back all the way to the.
So this is the part where the God, let me play.
Alcohol, and I'm seeing the devil. He's coming close to me.
Yeah.
And he reminds me, and he says to me, I've stolen you, I've killed you, now I'm about to destroy you. The exact same word that my mother told me. Damn. And before that, I still remember there was this light that came into the place.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very fast. I don't know.
So
how
here
to
where it's getting intense. He was actually seeing the devil, like the devil was coming to him, and also he sees he's keep on crying about God, like Jesus, 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 because of I mean, he was very afraid of the things that he was seeing. And you know, when it's like that moment, man, you feel like you want to die, and then you're just trying to call upon the great names of the Lord and all those kind of thing. And so he was like invoking, and then mm, I mean, Jesus came. All right, Jesus came. Jesus really came. He saw the light. That's where it's getting interesting.
describe the speed because, I don't know, man. Spiritual things are very hard to explain. I don't know that. And when the light came through, everything fell, and I could hear the noises from the back, from the back all the way to the other side, and it sounded like ba 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 ba, even the devil himself. And it was like this person when he came closer to me, I couldn't stand his presence. First of all, I knew it was Jesus because, you know, when it's Jesus and it's him for real, you don't need to be told that it's him.
You don't
You
need to.
know, like that's the Messiah, you know.
Yeah, that's like real for sure. When God is working to your place, you can really tell it, but your body can tell it, your brain can tell it. I mean, your everything can tell. You can just feel it, you know. I mean, it's really that moment. This is where I started to believe this guy was telling the right and the true story, because the fear that he had, and then um the joy, I mean, the relief that he got from seeing the lights from God or from Jesus, that's told me that he was really up for something great, you know? Yeah.
And the closer he got to me, the more guilt I felt. I was ashamed of looking at him. First of all, he doesn't have a face. I didn't see his face. From here upwards, it was just bright,
For real.
too
Like
bright.
real, this is for real. This is for real. Like the devil always have tend to have this kind of things that is going to make you feel um I mean, the things that's gonna scary you, you know. I mean, in the movie they always like zombies, they always bad. I mean, and then when it's come to look at, for example, priests and sisters, nuns, they always wear like they're trying to be saints even though they are not. And you know, he's never described how Jesus looks like, but he could see it just from the lights. And I mean, he's just, you can just tell like something is happening, something is coming to save me. And the savior, who's the savior? You know the savior, you know. I mean, that's where I started to believe this guy. He was telling the true story.
And then below, he was wearing a white robe. In front is white, at the back is purple. Purple represent the kingdom, you know, and then white represent what the Bible describes as him shining brighter than snow, and he did shine brighter than snow. He was clean, flawless, and everything. So he took whatever it is that he was holding. It was like this long stick, and he stabbed me on my heart. But when he pulled it, some weight got lifted off of me.
You get it.
All of a sudden, I wasn't scared of anything. I wasn't scared of the devil. I wasn't scared of anyone.
So if you can go back and replay this, the demons, they were feeding this guy alcohol. This is why I'm telling you, like, alcohol is demonic. Alcohol is really bad for us human being, and it's almost similar to drugs because they do make a lot of money, and that's why they will never suspend those things. But they are demonic. You know, when he met Jesus, like the demons, they were feeding him this alcohol, and Jesus, when he met him, he came and put a stick into his heart and take out some biggest weight that he was having, and suddenly he never been afraid of anything anymore because all those things they were feeding him, they are now gone.
You know, like, look at the devil. He's like small. He was completely destroyed. Everything is running away. So fine, we leave. We go from there. You know how a cat or a dog or a lion holds its cubs or puppies? You know, they hold their neck, and that's how he held me, and we flew straight to heaven. It seemed far, but like the speed was like too fast. It was like too far. I couldn't go in, but like, you know, first of all, when I saw Christ, he was like bigger than me. But when he got there, he was at the same height. And then when I see heaven, I can't go in. On the right, there was like all these diseases that was written. So meaning that if you die of any disease, you were given a new body. The Bible says that, you know. And
Did you just guys hear that? Like he sold to heaven.
I couldn't go in, but like, you know, first of all, when I saw Christ, he was like bigger than me.
Yeah.
But when he got there, he was at the same height. And then when I see heaven, I can't go in. On the right, there was like
The guy saw the heaven.
all these diseases that was written. So meaning that if you die of any disease, you were given a new body. The Bible says that, and the disease that you die with stays outside and it stays there. And I just entered, but like 2 meters into it, and that was it. I couldn't go further. When you look towards the horizon, all you see is like there's a person there, there's another person there. It's very empty, but like down there in hell, it's
Wait a minute.
bigger than me.
Yeah.
But when you got there, it was like the same height. And then when I see heaven, I can't go in. On the right, there was like all.
He couldn't go to heaven because that was not his time, and I mean he was just being saved. Listen to here now.
All these diseases that was written. So meaning that if you die of any disease, you were given a new body. The Bible says that, and the disease that you die with stays outside and it stays there. And I just entered, but like 2 meters into it, and that was it. I couldn't go further. When you look,
So he was like 2 meters away from the heaven, and he couldn't go further than that. Oh, what a beauty, man! Like 2 meters away, and the thing is, he can witnessing like the things that he saw there, which is I do believe him. Like by far, I really do acknowledging this guy was in heaven.
the horizon, all you see is like there's a person there, there's another person there. It's very empty, but like down there in hell, it's really packed.
You get it. So just by being in heaven for 2 meters away, I mean, you just sneak a peek and see that there was not so many people, which is like where he comes from. There were so plenty of people. People are dying, like they are not dead yet, but they are suffering over there, which is I do believe the guy, and that's what his mind told him. Like I was in hell, and now I am in heaven, which is really true, bro.
And you see Jesus, maybe this sounds crazy. So I see him over there far on the throne. Sorry. And then at the same time, he's here with me. And then at the same time, I see him over there with that person, particular individual. He's like everywhere at the same time.
This is why I do believe this story so much, so badly, because I mean, when in the Bible it says that God walk with us. Can you imagine how many people we are in this planet? There's almost like 8 point something billions of people. But what he's just saying right now, he's telling the truth because he saw Jesus with him, and he was there to the chair, and he was also with other people. So he was kind of a bit confused and like, why? How is Jesus is possible to multiplying himself? He's here right now. He's there that side, and he's also that side with other people. Like he was like kind of a bit confused, but that's the right story he's telling.
And there is no division when coming to his attention. There was the most amazing part about it. There was no division when coming to his attention. Everything was 100%. So first of all, the colors were brighter, and every emotion that we feel here on earth, in heaven, it's a person. So, for example, hope. Hope is a person when you get, it's hope. Faith is a person. Love is a person. You meet all these emotional beings that are described as emotions. I didn't know that when somebody says grace, up there in heaven, that's a person who lives there.
Take grace,
and so
take
far,
gratitude.
I just, like I said, I went in 2 meters into it, and then we left. We were in the middle of nowhere, and while we're there in the middle of nowhere, I see the earth, I see hell, I see heaven. So that's when I started speaking to Christ, But when you communicate with Christ, it's not like me and you. It's nothing that happens verbally. It's all spiritual, and you speak through feelings.
This is really uh right. When you speaking to God, you don't speak verbally to him. That's why I came from a Muslim family where we've been recommended to speak with our hearts, to tell things from our minds, because he's there. He's reading your mind. You can't lie to him. You can lie to people, but you cannot lie to God. You know, this is why I believe this guy's story, because he could tell something that we always neglect, something that it's true, it's been happening, but we just don't know how to explain it. As he said at the beginning, he anytime when he's trying to explain this, it's kind of unexplainable because he doesn't know how to explain it proper, but at least he can try. And all this move he was telling us right now is the things that he managed. He's bringing to the table, like, how can I explain this? This is how it happened. I saw this, I told this. Like, he's forcing his mind to tell the story, how he saw things. And when he has been lifted, he saw three things: the hell, the heaven, and the earth, which is like, man, those things do exist. And bro, he never communicated with Jesus or with God verbally. It's been through all feelings, and I believe that
That's why you can't lie in the spiritual
people can
realm.
lie.
You cannot lie. I feel how you feel, and I know that you're telling the truth, and you're not telling the truth. So the one thing I asked him is, why did you fetch me after all these things that I've done? And he said, when you were in high school.
So now listen to this here. Like, he felt guilty when Jesus came to save him, and he started to wonder, to questioning himself, why did Jesus came to save me? Like, why? What's kind of thing I have? Like, what the speciality that I have, so he can come? I mean, like, listen to this, bro. It's very deep.
And I started speaking to Christ. But when you communicate with Christ, it's not like me and you. It's nothing that happens verbally. It's all spiritual, and you speak through feelings. That's why you can't lie in the spiritual realm. You cannot lie. I feel how you feel, and I know that you're telling the truth, and you're not telling the truth. So the one thing I asked him is, why did you fetch me after all these things that I've done? And he said, when you were in high school, there was like a lot of people that got saved. Man, because of you. And I came here to fetch you because of that.
Damn, man.
So,
Wow.
then I was speechless.
Me too, bro.
Sometimes, the little things you do for God, we take them for granted.
We do.
And you think it doesn't count to Him.
Counts big time.
But imagine, like I said in the beginning, that I started a movement in high school where people were getting saved. I mean, of course, like there were some dudes that made fun of me. It's high school. But the vast majority of them's lives changed, even though they're not going to tell you about it. But their life changed. And he was like, that's the reason why I fetched you. As I'm trying to answer him, everything else, every question that I needed to ask was answered. I don't know how he does that. It's just so amazing. So before I know it, I'm back. Like, I wake up.
Guys, it's really so emotional and very deep. Very, very, very deep. Like, very deep. Very deep. So the guy was guilty, and he knew he was deserving the punishment from the devil, but he was calling Jesus, and Jesus came to save him, to help him from the devil, you know. And the end of the day, he understood that he was doing something wrong. We actually know when we do something wrong and when we do something good. And he is asking Jesus, I am guilty, but why did you come to save me? Is that because I was calling you? I was calling on you, or how? And God is just reminding him that no, you are a good kid. I'm not going to let you die in this kind of situation just because of what you have done right now. You've done so many good things in your life, you know, and this is just walking my mind. I mean, like, bro, if you are watching this, trying to be a good person in your life, you might be seeing that you're not doing something great, but it's count big time. You know what I'm saying? People always neglect these things, like sharing what you have, like transmitting good positive energy. I mean, trying to help someone by advice, but I mean, somebody is struggling financially. If you have the means to do, trying to help the people, you know, you're not helping them just because you are, it's just because of yourself, but you also saving them. Like, you're contributing in their lives, and then it's a lot of things that you are doing. God is watching. The rewards will eventually come, if not to you, but at least even to you, to your grandkids, children's, or sister or nephew. I mean, just trying to be there, trying to participate to help people, like community, you know, all those kind of things. And the guy was just crying, but him being reminded that he was a good person before he turned into a drunkard and alcohol addict and stuff like that. You know, that's why we got to do the good things that we can. Don't just let yourself and just be whatever the world wanted you to be. No, you got to have principles. You got to have rules of your life. You know, you got to pray God. You got to be somebody who's teaching people the right way, you know, not the wrong way. I mean, this was very speechless and emotional.
And I was like crazy. I couldn't remember people's names. Here in my apartment, the only person I can remember was my mother. My phone would ring and I'd be like, damn, who's this? You know, for 2 days, nothing happened. 2 days. And when I checked the time, everything that happened between heaven, hell, me, Jesus, happened in 2 minutes. Because when you're there, time stops. Time shifts, there is no time. But it felt like hours. It's unbelievably hard to explain. Everything happened, seemed to happen in 2 minutes. So, what happened after that in my life? You would think that I would become on fire for God and I would become this pastor after what happened at that time. But here's what happened. My mother got remarried.
Yeah, man. So that's what happened to the guy who went to hell and heaven for 2 minutes, and it's really like reflecting in our lives so much that how you can like you can be that type of person like that can change people's lives. You know, I was watching this video and I thought maybe it's gonna be helpful for you to watch it because it's very inspirational. Because sometimes we struggle, but we lose our way, and we don't know how to get back to our way. And the only thing I can tell you right now, I'm not trying to say that um I read a lot, but I read as much as I can. And the one thing I even told my mates at work, my partners, I mean everybody I know, I always tell them that I've read so many people, and the end of the day, I just realized that science I mean, science was created after God created the world. I mean, and science, it's a man, it's a man-made, it's a man-made thing. You know what I'm saying? People wanted to learn more. People wanted to do more, and that's why they created science, because we wanted to know. You know what I'm saying? Science is a study of things, you know. So some people just will be telling you that they do believe in science, they do not believe in God. But the funny thing is, like, who created the science? That's the thing that you got to ask yourself. If you don't believe in God, but you believe in science, but who created science? We human being created science, and God created us. You know what I'm saying? So this is just to remind you that in everything that you do, whether it's struggling, whether it's success, whether it's everything that you are doing, just trying to be there. Worship God, praise God. Don't forget the God way, because if you forget the God way, you're going to end up in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Don't end up in a bad way. God is the solution of everything. Like, I've read so many people that they have, I mean, um, highly spiritual, and like the great spirituality come from God. The biggest Illuminati in the world is God, is Jesus, Moses, Abraham, and all those people, not devil. You know what I'm saying? Miles Monroe once said, the more knowledge you acquire, the more and the less the devil is gonna be afraid of you. You know what I'm saying? The more you know, the more he's running away. So if you know a lot about God, he surely is going to run away. Don't be tempted in this kind of world where, like, you got to party every time, every weekend. You have a family to feed. You have responsibility to respond to, you know, and you're trying to be like just going with the flow because you see other people are doing things and you go. No, the devil's gonna catch you. Remember, those places like where concerts, where it's crowded, that's where things always happening. You know what I'm saying? One day I was telling a dude that works in a bar, I was telling him my story, which is I cannot share it right now here. And he's never believed me because he doesn't believe it. But yeah, I hope that one day God shows him something so that he can believe in it, and so that he can witness in it in the future, and he can tell other people like how it's, I mean, to see this kind of stories, it's just amazing. So that's it for today, guys. If you are watching this on Namka podcast, please hit a button, subscribe. If you already subscribe on this channel, activate the bell notification, because since I started this channel in 2022 last year August, I can guarantee you that only only 2% of the people that subscribe are watching my videos. And I don't want to create too much short anymore. They are abusing my channels. I can create short and gain millions view, half millions views, but no, I want the content that's going to inspire. I want the content that's going to help you develop something. And those kind of contents are the long form content, just like the content I'm creating right now. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching, if you give it a like, it's going to help me. Like, it's going to support me. It's going to tell YouTube that no, people I love this content. So push it more to more people. The more people are watching, the more, I mean, my contents are being watched with a lot of people. I'm not trying to looking for fame, but I'm just trying to look to transmit the message. That's it. I've never come to YouTube for fame. No, it's never happened to me. So if you're watching this, please hit the button like, share this video on your WhatsApp story. People will watch, or on your Facebook, on your Instagram. And please do not leave without activate the bell notification, please. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Yeah.